vast, wonderful universe, an insignificant planet, at some sacred moment, was blessed with the privilege of sustaining life, probably the only privilege of this kind in the whole universe. From the womb of this life sprang the logical being man, the observer and the judge of this universe, probably the only one. Thus the universe acquired a witness and observer of its existence, and it justified itself. And this being, this man, changed the form of the planet and dramatically affected and continues to influence the life on it. Today, more than ever, in the evolution of a major environmental crisis, the role of man on the planet seems particularly critical. The next generations of scientists, and especially of architects, must, on the one hand, be able to face the threatening destruction of the natural environment, and on the other hand, save and highlight our cultural tradition, of which the architectural heritage is a part. These are directly linked to the Sustainable Development Goals 11 and 13 of the United Nations. From 1990 to 2000, the International Decade for Natural Disaster Reduction, where I had the honor to represent Greece, scientists representing 82 countries studied this evolving climate change and its potential effects, which are already in full evolution. An evolution that brings and further prejudges ominous situations for human civilization. My long-term participation in research and teaching in European programs such as Erasmus, Comment, Ravello European University Center for Cultural Heritage, and Pact 19 Network had the purpose of studying and preserving our architectural heritage. Why it is so important to study our past in present time? We have so many questions. We want to learn so many things. We want to understand why these buildings are standing during very severe earthquakes. At the same moment, our modern, calculated buildings are collapsing. We want to know why in these buildings the atmosphere is so inviting, so cool, when at the same moment we need a lot of machinery to create an affordable climate in our modern houses. We want to know why the traditional surroundings in our villages, in historic cities, is so inviting us to spend our time there, contrary completely to modern neighborhoods of large cities. A special and characteristic quality of man is the continuous evolution of his knowledge and achievements. Also, the incredible tendency of creative ingenuity of his mind, to which he owes his culture. A culture that is based on his intellectual, technological, economic and moral development, on his sustainable development. And every human development is based on the experience of his past. Every new endeavor of man is supported and developed through his successive relevant experiences. There is no future without relevant past. Our scope is not to repeat our past. Our scope is to extract from our past the knowledge and the secrets which will help us to develop our future. An example of this is my research and relevant book concerning anti-seismic techniques on a famous and large monument of the 12th century on Mount Athos. Such studies inspired me to design innovative, modern, large-span anti-seismic structures. This is exactly my present goal with my students. I want them to study, to learn from the past in order to face the challenges of future. That's why our Department of Architecture of Frederick University, in which I have the honor to teach and chair since 2009, follow a program of education of students which contains courses of adequacy and analysis of the past and draws conclusions and lessons from it. It also contains training for today's and tomorrow's technology. At the same time, it includes learning about the environment and analyzes ways to improve its conditions. The architect, the engineer, is the one who will complement, improve, and beautify the built environment of the planet, or he will degrade it through its works. All my attention and intention are oriented towards the research and the expanded education that combines the lessons of the past with the goals of the future, the history with the modern era, the technology with the art, the inventive creative energies of the man with his sustainable development of his environment, and always and above all the ethics with his respective activities.